ColorPlay Live 3 days a week. Me and Jasmine are here. Hey, buddy. Say hi, sweetheart. There you go. Jasmine and I are here to say hello to everybody and say happy Friday to all of you. So nice to see the crew is here. You know, yesterday when I was making color announcements, I couldn't believe there was 21 people that jumped in like a matter of a couple minutes. It's pretty amazing. Hey, little girl, say hi to everybody. Hey there, buddies. Yes, Jasmine's here to say hi. She's been a little shy lately. Hasn't been on my chair since I've been coming back. So who do we have here today? We got Jennifer and Catherine Mefford and Sharon McCabe, Sherry Ellis, Jennifer B. Uh-oh, I shouldn't have touched that. I wanted to see who else was here and see if I could push up the screen and see who else is talking. I missed you guys. Crazy. You would think that taking a break would work, but you know, between not feeling well and to be honest, I don't know if it was food poisoning because it lasted a little bit too long for food poisoning. If it was stress, I do have an awful lot on my plate right now. So here's the update. So our funding has helped. The bank came back with an offer. We're going to have enough money to do the warehouse and start the Twinks. However, they gave us half of what we wanted, and we still need to raise some capital because guess what? I still got to move. I mean, the landlady, as long as I keep paying her rent, what is she going to do? But essentially, she wants me out. I need to move to a place that's all on ground level, and boy, the fantasy I've got for resetting this live up with more stations and more table area and an electric spinner that I own. Oh my God, it's a fantasy to move. So, and a lot of people have asked me, income tax return money's coming. Maybe they're on Social Security and they don't get paid in the first half of the month. I know I'm lucky enough to be on the second Wednesday, but a lot of people are on that last week of the month. So if you go to the website, you're still going to see it held over. The membership drive I put up till the 30th just to give everybody an opportunity to get in. And something interesting, I spoke to this lady yesterday. You may or may not agree with her, but she says, I really think ColorArte products are undervalued. I said, oh? She goes, for the quality that we get, it's too low of a price, and then 20% off. Of course, I'm sure no one else out there in the atmosphere agrees, because if you can get something gorgeous at a great price, why not? But she thought that me removing that 20% code every day for anybody recreational user coming by would build more value, even though we know our members are going to get a discount. And then she said, and by the way, I'm more interested in the sampling program, which surprised me. What do you mean you can't join? You're in a work meeting. Oh, it was nice to see you, Cindy. Love to see your face, sweetheart, but maybe you can see something while we're in the background. Anyway, she said the main reason for her wanting to become a member was the sampling program. They want to get a chance to sample stuff as I'm working on it, stuff from my lab table, or just get a free little pigment popped into your order, which I thought was interesting, very neat. But I thought I didn't expect that from a client to say your products are too fairly priced. Oh, look, we got Sherry's Creations in here now. That's a new face for me. Maybe she's watched the replays, but I've never had a chance to say hello to Sherry Creations formally. And Fairy Art Mother's in the room. And it looks like we've got everybody here. It's about 3 minutes after. So a few of you know, many of you know, I've been working on the Set 3 pre-order event. Any of you guys that have ordered your set number 3 Purely Pigment on the pre-order, if you ordered something else with it, that item's already split shipped. The set actually needs the rest of my recipes, and we're waiting for more jars. We're always seem to be waiting for jars on this stuff. So this is why we give away the pre-order event gift. And then in this case, this will be a first time we actually have a membership club. You guys are going to get an extra special goodie that only members will get. Eventually, I'm sure it'll be up for sale on the website. Like, I'm not going to make something that the rest of the public can't receive, but they're not going to get it for free. So some of you saw my broadcast yesterday. When I first thought about what I wanted to do with this set, and let me say that when I thought about what I wanted to do with Purely Pigments on a whole, my idea was to just give you guys a snapshot of my chemistry set. Basically the colors that I use to make paints. But as this is evolving, I mean, I knew intellectually or logically that it would be easier for me to make you a Payne's Gray than you make a Payne's Gray, or a Prussian blue, or a mystery blue, or see you later, Renee. You'll have fun, because I'm going to come back and watch, because all the colors are going to be shown today. They're all sitting in front of me, but you just can't see them yet. So I was going to do this chemistry set and thought I'd end there. But as I've thought about this the last few days, obviously not feeling well, and I have a tendency when I'm working on colors, I noodle on it, and then I go to the table and make something, then I noodle on it again and go to the table and make something. Well, this last time when I showed you these 4 pastel colors, they're really not pastel, they're more of a medium to light range. The response was so overwhelming that I realized, you know what? I'm not just going to stick to the color bases that look black in the bottle. You know, yeah, there's going to probably be 10 to 15% of the people out there that really want to custom make the colors every time. But the majority are going to want to be able to pick up their yellow ochre, you know, their ginger color and go. Or pick up a periwinkle blue and go. Or pick up the cotton candy. Yeah, I'm not going to call it Barbalicious. Sorry, I don't want to. Yes, as a matter of fact, Dradra, I was reminded by someone yesterday who did that. She wanted to buy another card. I said, you can buy as many cards as you want. And what we did is she bought another membership card, and then I just added that amount on her existing one that she started with. Good question. And yeah, you guys can keep adding to your total. Catherine Mefford. I've got a Kathleen McGee and a Catherine Mefford, and I'm getting the names straight in my head is a challenge, guys. But Catherine's mom bought a couple extra cards because she wanted to donate to the cause, and then gave them to her daughter, right? And so we just added that tally on to Catherine Mefford's total. So easy peasy. All right, without further ado, let's get started with playing with what we're going to release this time around, and hopefully you guys are excited. I've got a canvas back here that I've primed. I might wedge or just kind of brush colors on. I also have a lot of watercolor paper here cut up and loaded up, ready to get wetted down to use. Yeah, let's get started so you guys can see these. There's so many colors here, I don't know if we're going to actually do a painting per se, but I want you guys to be able to see these. So starting off, I figured out what I want to do with her primary elements. Oh, good. Okay, so starting off, I don't know if I can use this canvas as a place to mix per se, and the canvas may be the wrong idea here. Yeah, I think you know what? I don't really want to drop color on the canvas, so we're just going to remove this canvas. If I end up using it, great. It's all primed and ready in case I want to load some paint on it. Meanwhile, now we can really get these are the ones you guys saw last time, these 4. The new ones this is the one I'm most excited about. But we'll get the drum roll, ba 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 ba. Well, wait till you see this incredible red that I made. Oh my God. I was talking to a couple of our friends before this thing got started, and I said, I can't believe this. Okay, so starting off is red oxide. Now, Fairy Art Mother just asked me yesterday, can you make a color that is rust? And I said, have you heard of, now this is a watercolor paper. That's why I'm wetting it down. So it gets a chance to really get moist because I want this to receive the color. And then I got these little cups, and the color is too strong to put directly on this watercolor paper. It'll drop and then harden. So even if you were gonna do these little samples, yeah, this doesn't, I thought this had something in it. Okay, so this is the rusted oxide, which may be a little bit thick. Remember your golden nickel, okay? Ooh, that was a couple drops I put in there. All right, so I've got some rusted oxide in my cup. Gonna add a little water to it. I apologize, my battery's gonna do that. It's acting up again. Not exactly sure why, but it is not particularly happy with me. And Judy, I've been getting an error message that my lightning cable has water on it, which it does not. But then if I plug it back in and out of my computer, it charges to 68%. But why today it had to go, I don't know. Anyway, so there's the rusted oxide mixed with a little bit of water. We'll drop it on here so now you can actually see how pretty is that rusted oxide. That's gonna give you a real eyeful of what this color is gonna look like. Now, rusted oxide is a very necessary component. When they make nickel as a gold, you're gonna recognize this warm, yummy color that's there. But this is gonna give you an idea of what rusted oxide looks like. It's a great base for browns. It's a really great base for, I see a lot of artists actually start with this tone on their canvas. There was some artist that was being interviewed, and he likes to work with a mid-range tone, I'd say about this shade here. He paints his whole canvas with a mid-range red oxide to eliminate the white. And so you're starting with a mid-range color you can go lighter or darker on. And then also, so your eye doesn't get so confused with all the white space that you get so locked up in the negative space. But here is a red oxide. Hi there, how you doing, Luna? Okay, all of a sudden it got quiet as soon as I started dropping the color on this alone. I know you guys are still there. So there's the rest of that color from that cup. It was Saskia that made the suggestion when she had tried to put just straight water down on watercolor paper, wet watercolor paper, the color will kind of be too strong when it hits the paper without a little water added to it. Okay, so there's that rusted oxide. All right. Let's do these colors, which you guys saw last week when I was playing with them, but you didn't see basically what it would look like on, ooh, that's got a little rust left on my finger, on the watercolor paper drop like this. So same thing. 1, 2, I put a couple, 3 drops in here. I want a good color. Make sure that gets mixed up nice and well. Drop that in there. Bam. There is your Cyan aqua. That's got a lot of water on it. But there is Cyan aqua. We know that if we use the right amount in the mix, it will accept the mica and the mica will show. So remember, these colors are clean enough to give you the transparency that you need in order to still have your shimmer and shine come through, because that's, you know, we're a bunch of, I know I'm a bling girl, so it really matters to me if I can see the bling. Sorry, I'm trying to wipe my cup out so I can reuse it. I don't want to waste the plastic. All right, so this next color, so that one was Cyan aqua. This is rusted oxide. Okay, next color we will be playing with. Get him to wipe this out. Thank you, sweetheart. I'm so glad you didn't either. We're gonna run out of room, but at least we got an idea, and I can, uh-oh. It sounds like Jasmine's got a little cough. I'm worried about my little girl here. That's a lot of water on that Cyan aqua. I'll give that to you. Okay, so here is blue skies smiling at me. Nothing but blue skies do I see. I don't know if that's how the song goes and if my voice is good enough to sing it, but yeah, I love the shimmer, baby. So I want to make sure that the color has a transparency if you need it, but if you add more to it, you will get more opacity. And that's the beauty of this thing. We want these products to be able to modify and manipulate into any base, any type of color mix, any kind of color saturation. The more you add, the more opaque it's going to be. The less you add, the more transparency you have. So I think I had a lot in that one. That's only one drop. This is blue skies smiling at me. Nothing but blue skies do I see. All right, so here would be blue skies. Pretty color. Yeah. Yeah, do you see that rusted color? That's a perfect color for that rusty color. Yeah, blue sky is smiling at me. That's definitely a blue sky. Hey, I'm alone. There's no one else here singing along with me. What can I say? So this next color is a periwinkle blue. It's really, Hobeline's version of light blue, or my version of Hobeline's light blue, which I've always seen a periwinkle tone in, even though it's considered a light blue. I just want to get that blue off the bottom of the cup so I don't stain it. Now, in the very first time I used this, I had 7 drops in the mix, and it was a little bit hard to see the mica, but then the next day, when I did those, oh, I forgot to show you how these things dried. This was our consistency test. What's weird is when I sat it down, it must have been at a tilt because they look like music notes. But I remixed the periwinkle. It's called Peri-Bell Blue. We're going to call this Peri-Bell, right? Like periwinkle bell, but like a combination of periwinkle and bell blue. There's a little shimmer when I remixed it with just a little bit less. I thought this turned out to be a really cool little test. I forgot to show you guys at the beginning of the broadcast. So here's a drop of the Peri-Bell. Oops. I already gave it a drop as soon as I splashed it out, right? Oop. Get some paper here. Yeah, I'm making my top too wet if I don't protect it with, actually what I really need is a puppy pad underneath this. That would be fabulous. Can I look around and quickly and find a piece of puppy pad while I sit here and look fabulous on camera? I don't know. There is your Peri-Bell. I know it's really wet, but this really, really, really shows it off. You really get a gander at what this color is going to look like, right? Which is kind of the whole point of doing this exercise here. In retrospect, I could let the water soak in a little bit more. I'm kind of rushing this along here so we can get through all these colors. But yeah. So the Peri-Bell is kind of that periwinkle light blue. Okay. I'm going to stack them down here so we can make room for everything else as we get going. All right, now we have, everybody wanted to call this Barbalicious, Barbie Pink. I agree, it looks like Barbie. I even looked up Barbie's Swoon Pink Lemonade, but I've decided on probably a more boring name. You can all go boo hiss. I'm just gonna call it Cotton Candy. And it's, I think it's a great color. I just want to get this to soak in a little bit more before I put that color on there. Let's switch to a different cup because we're working with pink now. I try to recycle these as much as I can. I mean, it's plastic. Sadly, the little paper cups I have that are this side absorb stuff too much. So they're not realistic for using for mixing because the paper that they're in, these little things, absorb the water, the color too much. So it's kind of a waste of paint. That is definitely a Barbie pink. Right. Yow. And there you go, guys and girls. In your face cotton candy. Woo! Woo! You know, you're right. It reminds me of a pair of hot pants because that's so funny. Now, these reminds me of the fishnet stockings my mom gave me to wear with some dress. Now I'm really aging myself, to be honest. But I have a color called Hot Lips in the resin art because Hot Lips would have been a great name for this. But sadly, we've already got a Hot Lips right in the line. So I'm gonna sit these back here. Maybe they'll dry a little bit easier on the back end. I got a little puddling going on with this Cyan. Cyan aqua is so gorgeous. It's such a pretty color. Get these back here. So I don't want my area here getting so sopping wet that we can't work, right? So we'll move these over a little bit, make a little bit of room, put my Barbie pink, also known as cotton candy, right here. It really does look like Barbie pink. You guys were right to want to call it that. But I think I could get in trouble with some kind of trademarking by using that name. So, Seriously Pink? Yeah, that's not a bad name. Seriously Pink? Yeah. Cotton Candy, though, is a fun name. Okay, so in the last set, we made a color called Hickory that turned out to be Hickory Leaf. Now I'm going to try to find my actual bottle of hickory I just got from the lab. I showed it to you guys last week, but I cleaned up my table too much. Oops, now I got to find it. I should have found it ahead of time. My apologies. Oh no, where did my hickory go? If you remember, it's like a dark, it's almost like our black emerald, right? The color we call black emerald. Well, I don't know exactly where it's at. I thought I had it right here at my fingertips, but let's get on with it. So you actually now have a chocolate. And I almost wasn't going to do one because your rusted oxide is a great base for making a brown. But I had promised so many people that I would come back with a brown. We're going to call this chocolate drop. Get this watercolor paper nicely wetted down. I know that Kathleen McGee is excited to have a brown. At least that's what she told me this morning. Cerise Pink, yeah. Hollyhock. I looked up to see if there's any cute names for hollyhocks because it reminded me of a hollyhock or a cosmos. We actually have a cosmos in the primary element line, so that wasn't doable, right? But here is your brown. Now it is on the warmer end of it, meaning it's got a little red tone to it. Okay, now why would I make it a little bit warmer like this? Okay, because when you're making browns, you can choose to add, let's see, here it is. Let's see if I want to get into this here. If I add a little bit of an orange, which I don't know if I want to go all the way electric orange. I could go as far as just adding rusted oxide. But We have a color in set number 1 called Golden Nickel. We also have an Aztec Yellow, right? This is our Aztec Yellow. And we have a little bit, we've got that Electric Orange. Okay. So let's say I was going to try to make a paint out of this and wanted to make it, this is just straight polypro I'm going to use right now. I don't have any of my other paint base mixed up with the gel. Oops. Shake it first, baby. Give it a little shake, shake, shake. So I did the same thing in the resin art. I picked one brown in the middle and I kind of made it more red. And the reason why, you can take a red brown, we'll put some mic in this in a minute, and add yellow or orange, and you've made that autumn leaf color that we love. Knockout pink. Everybody still wants to rename the pink. I guess they don't like the name cotton candy. I already put it up on the website. So I'm going to put 2 drops of my Aztec Yellow, and I only put 1 of that Electric Orange. I don't know if that's enough to change this to a warmer autumn brown. See, now there's your autumn brown, just by adding a couple drops of the Aztec Yellow, right? Now if I do this on the paper, it won't look so red, because this definitely has a red tone to it. There's acrylic in that though. This is going to be more of an autumn tone brown. You see where I'm going with this. Now you can do the same thing by adding blue. Now blue is going to be a little bit tougher because our blues are pretty strong, but same thing. I'm going to take some of my chocolate brown. I wonder if I can put it in anything else other than that polypore. I guess not. It's the only thing I have here on my table right here. It is in your face. I mean, it is such in your face color. To be honest, it should be called Barbalicious or Barbie Pink. Or what was that movie that Jane Fonda was in? She wore those boots. Barbarella, right? Okay, so again, we're starting with the red brown. But if I wanted to cool this down and turn it into a cooler color, I could use red shade blue, I could use green shade blue, because I have lots of choices, right? But let's just say I'm going to use plain old blue. Trying to find one in my kit here. Perfect peacock. Okay, so here's Oriental blue. This is basically an ultramarine, okay? If I add a drop of this blue, and it starts taking you into the darker, which I still prefer to warm them up and then add the blue, to be honest. I am not a cool brown girl, but you've got to be able to know how to make one if you need one. Now, a little bit of blue in that, look where it went. It went really, really cool. But if I had taken this brown, this is the journey I prefer, add the warmth, and then it's a lot of blue. I'm trying to only just get a smidge. I did this last time. Just get a little smidge on your wooden stick so you're not putting a whole drop in, right? And then just kind of mix that in. What it'll do is deepen your warmer brown. It takes your color to a deeper place. And if you keep adding a little bit of blue and a little bit of blue and a little bit of blue, it'll get darker and darker. So this is my preferred method of darkening my browns versus this method that's a little bit extreme, adding all that blue to it. So same theory, I've added blue to this. If I want to drop back in an orange, that's a lot of orange. Didn't mean to do that. Would it warm up my brown again? Yes, it will. So I've taken that blue, 1 drop of Oriental blue. Brown's fun. You could sit and make this all day long and every one of them would be different. Take the Oriental blue. It looked kind of funky when I put just the blue into that chocolate drop, right? But then as soon as I added some of the orange back in, look what happens to the color. We get this really nice brown, but not as orangey as this brown. So basically, I've made the brown middle of the road with a little bit more red than normal. Then you can warm it up with the Aztec yellow, with your electric orange, and add a drop of blue if you want to tone it to a darker shade. See, this is the lighter shade. This has that 1 drop of blue in it, and immediately went to a deeper shade of brown. So that's kind of how you do your custom mix on your browns. Get this little area cleaned up so we can play, because we're about to get to the bonus color. I didn't plan on doing it first. I was going to do it last, but it's sitting right in front of us. So the original bonus color I was going to make for the set was a violet indigo, which would have still been a black and violet. Now, I'm just gonna go on record here. I'll let you guys see my face when I say this. I find diazazine violet a little drab. What do you guys think? Do you find, Audra, do you find that diazazine violet's a little drab for your eye, just pure diazazine violet out of the tube? Do you feel like you need to mix something to it? Same thing with you, Luna. I think it's got this gray blue tone when you just use it straight. And so mixing the black plums kind of bugged me a little bit. And yet the Prism Pour Deep Amethyst, which is one of the prettiest purples we've ever made in the Prism Pour colors, is nothing but diazazine violet and interference violet. So what have I taught you guys about what the mica does? The interference bends the light and changes the way you see your color. So when we made the deep amethyst with diazazine violet, there's enough of the interference violet to lift it up and make it pretty. But in the bottle, black plum, to me, looks a little drab. Again, I gave you guys my chemistry set basically in these first 2 sets. You've got the basic colors that I have to work with. But mixing and tweaking them to make them something pretty is different. So the other day, I was on the phone. I said this yesterday on my little announcement. I was talking to Sherry and Kathleen McGee, and I said, hey, what if I give you guys a better white? The aqueous white I used to make this color, right? Maybe this should be the bonus. And both of them in concert went, okay. Like not, they were more going along than excited, right? I said, well, I've really been trying to figure out how to nail a Snapdragon, the color Snapdragon, the Purely Pigments. And immediately I got, yes, please. Please, can you do that? So instead of indigo violet, as soon as I made this color, I went, oh, snap. Look how pretty that is in the bottle. That doesn't look anything like the black plum, does it? I'm looking for the black plum bottle right here. Literally, so you guys could see the bottom of the black plum. But come on, black plum bottle. Darn, it was right here. Okay, so your black plum looks black, right? It literally looks black in the bottle because it's just pure dioxazine violet. This is obviously a beautiful purple. You can see it right through the bottle. Yes, and so Oh Snap is the name of the bonus color in this set. Let's have a little fun with Oh Snap. And then I went ahead and made a pastel version of it. This puts me in a predicament. Actually have an extra color. And now the set comes with 11. Then because it's a pre-order event, you guys get a gift. So I guess I can take a vote and I know what the answer is going to be. Is the free gift this or this? This or this? Personally, I have a feeling you guys would jump on the color because this would make a great bonus for the pre-order event. You like the violet? Sharon says she likes the violet. You will want this eventually. I can put this in set 4. Trust me, you're going to eventually ask for this. But what I realized while mixing all these mid-range tones and making this, I'm not going to just give you guys the chemist. Oh, both. Hope wants both. Okay. She wants 2 bottles as a pre-order event gift. Perfect. Okay. Hey, I'm with you, Hope. I'll take as much color as you give me. But when mixing these and mixing those first 4, I kind of had an epiphany while I was sick, working on these colors, not feeling well. I'm not just going to limit the Purely Pigment line to the basic set that I have, my chemistry set, which still require you guys to work to mix. And basically, I'd say maybe 10 to 12% of my audience really wants to dig in and make something. A lot of people just want to come home, pick up a pretty color, and go. Just like picking up that tube of Amsterdam paint. You know, so maybe sometime in the future, a year from now, we're going to have all kinds of beautiful mid-range tones too. I mean, I can make a beautiful blue-green. And why, I happen to like the blue-green from Amsterdam. Why I think this is going to work is I've gone through my own personal journey of getting the right consistency of my base to do my swipe bloom. And, you know, I didn't realize just how much, why people are so possessive with their recipes. Like once you've nailed something, they don't want to change. I'm on the phone with them all the time saying, but why are you using it? Oh, because it works. It works for me. And if you think about how this fluid art thing has exploded since 2016, you know, Cause Creations has her own mix. You go to Expressionist Studio, she has her own mix. Sadly, somebody started using the word pouring medium and it caught on, which I think is confusing for new beginners because there actually is something called a pouring medium out there you can buy commercially. So calling my own custom medium, you notice I don't call my clear paint base mix pouring medium because it's not. It's my clear paint base. But that being said, as soon as I started trying to figure out this whole Dutch pour thing, I immediately wanted to go back to my comfort zone, the mix that I was comfortable with. And it suddenly hit me why I'm on the phone with so many clients saying, well, no, I don't want to change. No, that really works for me. I really like what the Floetrol does. I really like what this does, right? Because once you find something that works and then you have all the materials to do it, we're done shopping. I remember when the bloom technique came out and Tammy Anderson was talking about how we'd both spent $1,000 in varnish we felt like we had just to figure out the best varnish to use. So my point to this part of today's segment is the beautiful thing about Purely Pigments. If you have your own special paint mix, you don't have to worry about what introducing a tube of paint will do. All you need is a few drops of this stuff and you just made your own custom paint. So I plan on not limiting the line to 48. There's the big announcement. Let's go back and take a look at Oh Snap, because I think you guys are going to really like this color. But that's been my personal epiphany from where I visualize this product to where I think I see it today. So, all right, let's play, let's play, let's play. I think this make a great bonus. I agree with Hope. Both would be wonderful, but we're already doing 11 plus a set, plus a gift. And I think this would be a great compliment to the Oh Snap, even though it does put 2 purples in this line. So there's that too. Yeah, you won't have to hunt colors down if I make them or I show you how to alter them and make them. And once you can have that perfect blue-green, why not? Okay, I need a really big piece of paper for the Snapdragon. Oh, excuse me. Oh, Snap, right? And I really am regretting that I didn't wet this down. I just spent all that time talking, and I could have had these papers getting wetted down, because it does take a while for a good watercolor paper to soak up that water, but it is really the best way. This is the best way to show a true, beautiful color explosion, right? All right, let's get a little cup here. Let's get some of our Oh Snap. Yeah, you can see this is my lab bottle. No label on it. Handmade by me. Ooh, there's a little hair on the end of that. Is that a Harley hair, a Jasmine hair, or a Leslie hair? I don't know. Oh, yeah. Does that look like Snapdragon to you guys? I'm so excited about this color. Like I said, I saw it and went, oh, snap. That's it. Now, I'm not going to try to put down my black plum, meaning put it down and say it's not as pretty. But until this is mixed with something, it's just... I'll use one of these paper cups real quick just to show the difference. This is the pure black plum, and you guys have all probably seen it, but for anybody new stopping by, that's interesting. How did my black plum not turn so drab? It's actually not that bad, because I find it very drab in the bottle, right? But this, I know this has more warmth. I'm wondering if I just picked up the wrong bottle. Well, we now have them both, because black plum is fine, but when I was mixing it in the acrylic medium, it went drab. When I put it in the resin, it went drab. It needed to have the color lifted up, so it gave me this, beautiful Snapdragon color through the bottle without adding white. I mean, how do you lift color up without adding white? Okay. Now, oh, snap. That's plenty of purple. I love purple. Yeah, well, see, now Audra's saying she adds the black plum to browns. Now, I was talking to somebody yesterday that says she adds neon orange to it. I mean, it's crazy. That I find just in general, the tuba dazzling violet that comes right off the shelf just doesn't excite me. I don't find it a really pretty color, me personally. But I'm also not really attracted to warm reds. I might have to make them, but that doesn't mean it will be my favorite color to paint with, right? All right, now here's another surprise that came out. I was working on a red wine, but Sherry is not a big bluey wine person. And I said, no. Think of when I made like a dry wine when I was working with the holly berry and I added a little bit of red shade blue, right? Well, let's see what you guys think of this one. Like I said, I need my paper wetted further in advance. And while doing this, I ended up making 2 colors, not planned, but the website's been updated with this. Okay. So this color looks like a weird color in the bottle. Don't be fooled by the color in the bottle. It's really thick though. To me, it looks like Love Struck. It's a very dry Sauvignon color. It's a really deep, deep blood red. Okay, the bottle itself looks brown, but it's not. It's a really deep, bloody red. Okay. And then the color we're going to call berry wine, which was the actual wine, one called wine. This reminds me of Wine and Roses. I'm starting to, because the challenge is I use mica to get those colors in those paints I'm making. So the challenge is for me to go back to the table and try to make, see, there's your Wine and Roses. And there's your Love Struck Red. So this is going to be called Hugs and Kisses. Yeah, the bottle looks brown. It's basically a really dry red with a little bit of blue in it to get to this color. So this is Hugs and Kisses. And this is Berry Wine, because I can't call it Wine and Roses. We've already got a Wine and Roses, right? Okay, so what number are we up to? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've got to get my Oriental blue out of here. I'm going to knock it over. All right. I'm just thinking. Getting to where we're running out of areas for swatches to dry. But I think it's relevant to see what these colors really, really look like. This is going to give us the best way. And you can definitely see one is kind of a bloody red and one is more of a bluey. Well, that's actually the Snapdragon on there. There's your oh snap, right? Oh snap! I'm going to have to say that every time I use it. Oh snap! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, this is number 10 and 11 coming up. All right. Now, this is another color Fairy Art Mother asked me about. Am I planning on a yellow ochre? Now, I named it Gingen. That may not work for you guys because you may think of the alcoholic drink. And so that don't think if this may not change to ginger root or something, because I have fresh ginger, ginger snap. I could call this ginger root. Right now, it just says Gingen on the website. And the reason why, there's a candy it's made. They're all packaged individually. It's straight ginger in a, it's sweet, but it's kind of a bendy. There's not much sugar in it because it's not a hard candy. It's really good. It's spicy with a lot of ginger, and they call it Gingen. It's a type of ginger candy. But ginger root may go over better because I say Gingen, and everybody goes, what? Are we drinking martinis? No. All right, let's get this ochre color out. Now, I think this yellow ochre and the wine would be beautiful together. I realize those seem like fall colors, but we really need to have. Okay, so here is your Gingen or fresh ginger root. There's that yellow ochre. Still pretty bright. If you want to deepen it or darken it, You could add a tiny bit of a blue to it to dirty it up more. Personally, I like things on the warmer end, only because I can still modify them and play with them, right? And last but not least is a color called River Rock Blue. Now you can actually see the blue through the bottle. It does look like turmeric. And you know what? This would be a perfect color to mix with that brown that looks a little bit red, or a brown that looks a little bit too blue. Yeah, this is really a pretty turmeric color. I agree. Whoever said turmeric? Who said it looks like turmeric? Blind Awakening. Hey, how you doing, Rhonda? Blind Awakening is in the house, guys. Hugs and kisses. Okay, so this color is called, oops, there's a little yellow in this. I hope it doesn't make it turn green. I see a little yellow in the bottom of this cup. This color is called River Rock. And I was trying to get to a bright, beautiful cerulean blue without having to have the interference green that's in our normal cerulean blue. I was trying to match the color that's in our Prism Pour cerulean blue. And I think I nailed it. It's a really pretty River Rock blue. Again, it's on the blue end of the blue-green family, not the green end. Okay. So there's your 11 color lined up.